Hey, what's up, QuakeCon? I hope everybody's doing well today and that everybody is ready for 50 minutes of some cool multiplayer content where we're going all the way back to the past with some classic Doom 2 action. So this is me, KingDime, and this is the Take the Crown free-for-all tournament put together by the Multiplayer Doom Federation. So we had some crazy qualifiers yesterday with 76 entrants, but we had to knock that all the way down to 8. So you're going to see your top 8 today, which will be, let's quickly introduce them. We're going to have Dastin, Langrenus, Ninja Dog, Prote, Infer, Azrael, Toby, and Disparl. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen, they're going to be actually playing for some cash. So for a prize pool of $750, first place will be taking home $350, second place $250, third place $150. But all 8 players, they won't go home empty-handed because they're going to get some swag, a T-shirt, and a poster. But before we get into the action, I'm going to introduce the 2 main casters that you'll be hearing for today. So first off, we've got Dewsome. How you doing, Dew? Okay, Dew is fantastically tired, but hey, we just got to be awake for an hour. And our second caster, HumanBones. How you doing today? Several cups. Well, shall we get into it? Because we've got our players all set up in Otimex, the source port of the day. And so this is going to be a series of 8 games where the frag limit is 40 and with a 5-minute time limit. Not long. All right, we're fading in and we've got the main screen. Why don't you take it away?
Yeah, so actually, we'll be starting off with map 1, which I'm gonna head over to that map really quickly so we can give everyone a view of what that looks like. So this is a bit of a newer map here.
Is there a sound issue?
Seems
No.
like they can hear us now. So yeah, this is a newer map here. So it relies a lot on this power up. There's a power up here which you can take a teleporter to or jump to, and that's really going to influence the players and the way that they're actually playing against everyone. You'll want to look for some smart usage of that plasma gun, and there's a lot of spawn fragging that happens over by the rocket launcher on the other side of the map. So very interesting map, relies on that power up. I think we're about ready to go. So yeah, it's going to be one full rotation through 8 maps, 40 frags each. Wait for the all ready from everybody. Some really good participants here. So we're about to go. And good luck.
Yeah, so right off the bat you can see that everyone changed their color to green because no one wants to be identified. You don't want to stand out.
Right, part of FFA is finding a common enemy in maybe a red-skinned player there, or a black-skinned player, or blue-skinned player, or someone. Finding them and making sure that you just attack them relentlessly. And here, everyone is the same color, so no enemies that can be identified. Nobody's really going for that plasma yet.
Yeah, with all of these really strong players, they pretty much can rely on their SSG and just go at it the entire round.
Yeah, and right now we're seeing Langrenus in the lead, tied by Toby. These are 2 European players here, so they're playing on American servers, which really, it's actually an accomplishment for them. you know, to be doing this well with such high ping. And once again, like I talked about, you're seeing a lot of spawn fragging by that rocket launcher lift.
And by the soul sphere, because everyone wants to be ready for when it actually spawns. And right now, Prote is holding a pretty much consistent lead.
Yeah, it's really bunched up together at the top. I mean, everyone's separated by just a few frags. You've got Langrenus on top. Now he's starting to separate a little bit with 22.
Yeah, these are like the newer players that are really strong with their aim game. For example, when you compare that to someone old school like Ninja Dog, he will probably shine on the more technical maps, the standard FFA maps, where it's not about the precision aiming.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's interesting to note too that the players in this game is a wide range of experience. You know, you have, like you mentioned, players like Ninja Dog, who've been around for a long time, and then you have a player like Azriel, who is fairly new to the scene. So it's a pretty good mixture of experience versus, you know, their understanding of how these maps are played. I mean, they went through all these maps yesterday, so they should have a pretty good understanding. But you know, it depends on how the players adapt and how they've played over the years. We're slowly approaching 40 here.
And Langrenus has popped off and is holding a 4 frag lead, 5 frag. Oh, he's probably got this lockdown. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Langrenus takes this one, 40 frags there. So that's gonna give him 9 points for winning this. And so we're going to be updating the scores in real time.
Just one sec. We've got an accidental stinger going out. So just hold off like 20 seconds. We're just trying to show off the FFA point distribution on what like each player will get for their placement in this. Because again, it's going to be 8 games, all maps, a single time. It should be coming back in like 10 seconds. Okay, there it's back. But this is the FFA point distribution. So first is 9, second is 7, third is 5, and then it goes all the way down to 1 point. So you really do want to get into the top 2 or 3 locations so you can really get in those points.
Yeah, and if we're looking at the map that's on screen right now, this is from a WOD called Crucified Dreams, fairly newer in terms of Doom. It's got some really tight inside corridors. There's the focal points being the outside SSG. That's where a lot of players will congregate. And then you're going to see over there on the ledge a rocket launcher. Players will use that and spam some rockets over to the SSG to pick up some easy kills. I'm gonna give the all ready, and we'll jump into this one here. Everyone's sticking to their green color, and we're off. So right off the bat, Langrenus is someone that you want to watch. He took the first round by a sizable 7 frag lead. But these maps all have different styles, so you may end up seeing a couple different players win on different maps. Right now, though, Langren is holding on to that lead.
Yeah, but in this map, everything can change really quickly once someone manages to get a hold of the rocket launcher and just hit a cluster of players.
Yeah, absolutely. You see some players trying it right now, but they're just not having any luck. Interestingly, Langrenus is coming up behind that rocket launcher. I think players were going for that, hoping for some easy sprees, but Lang playing it smart, trying to cut them off from doing anything. He's already got 19 frags.
To 3 deaths. He has
Yeah.
like 6.66 kill death ratio.
Just about. Yeah, he's really popping off right now.
Yeah, this is by no means a surprise. Langrenus was one of the 4 players that qualified directly from yesterday's group stage. Top 4 players qualified out of the 65 something participants. The other 4 had to go through playouts. So both leading players, Langrenus and Prote, were the top 4.
Yep, and you know, Lang had a 10 frag lead there for a bit, and Prote's managed to catch up to him, and I think that's, you know, indicative of the fact that we've increased it from 30 frags to 40, so it gives players a little bit more time to catch up and figure out the strategies of their opponents. So now it's a 7 to 6 frag difference, I should say, between the 2 leaders. And then you've got the rest of the pack kind of bunched up there around the mid-teens. Well, here we go again. Lang takes a 9 frag lead, really stretching out, trying to ensure that he gets a couple easy wins. I should say early wins, not easy.
And he got like 3 kills with 1 shot. How do you even beat that?
He just, you know, his aim is really on today. I mean, sometimes, you know, you have a player like Desperal who hasn't had the best luck so far today, but he's able, when he wants, to turn it on and be one of the best fraggers in the game. But Lang is taking that title so far today.
No, he was playing like very dominantly yesterday in the qualifiers, so it's just interesting to see is when you get down here to, you know, the best is if Lang could continue that domination, and apparently yes. The answer is yes.
It sure is. Our next map might be familiar to even some casual viewers. If you've ever heard of the WAD Dwango 5, or any iteration of Dwango, this map is from there. It's got a very old school feel to it. Here we are. So it's kind of this outdoor western town. Makes you feel a little bit like Clint Eastwood when you're running around shooting people. It looks wide open, but you know, most frags actually happen inside the buildings or right outside of the buildings, which really creates chaos as soon as everyone spawns. And you can see the players warming up here, still sticking with that green color. Gonna give them the ready sign. So far, Lang has taken the first 2. So it's gonna be up to some of these other players to see if they can unseat him. You know, there's still 6 maps left, but as you get closer, it gets harder. So here we go. 5 seconds. And we're off.
Right, so most of the action actually happens in the doorways because the SSGs are bunched up in the buildings, so you always want to wait for the opponents to come through the choke points here.
Yeah, and you know, this map it's tough to get a good strategy down because, like I mentioned, a lot of the spawns are inside these really tight buildings, and players will sit outside and wait for opponents to spawn. So they'll just run in and kind of get a quick frag on you. So it's hard to have a strategy here where you bait someone else, but
yeah,
you know, that's just another colorful part of Doom's history.
The best strategy is, of course, just have the best SSG aim, which Langrenus consistently shows off, and he's already +3 as we approach the halfway point.
Yeah, Lang taking no prisoners today, although, you know, if you watch, I mentioned Desperal seems to have turned it on in this map. You know, sometimes players
this is the map that fits his style.
Sometimes players need a map like this, you know, just a map where you can get your aim underneath you, you know, and it might help him in the long run. He's keeping up with Lang here. He's really the only one threatening Lang so far in this map.
Yeah, but then you run into the problem that sometimes you just spawn somewhere and no one's around, and you're desperately running around trying to find someone to kill.
Yeah, that can be a problem especially for players like Prote and Dastin right now, who have half the amount of frags as the leader. You know, they have a lot of ground to make up, and on a map like this, where sometimes you do have to go and search for people, it's difficult. Xenaero keeping up close. Both he and Lang have 30, which is 10 frags more than the third place.
Yeah, and it's really close. For the third place is like 4 players bunched up inside 1 or 2 frags. But
yeah, Xenaero just got a double kill, a triple kill, takes the lead, but Lang brings it back at 37. This is going to come down to the last second here.
Yeah. Right now, Lang just one shot. Yeah, there we go. So that's a third win for Langranus, and he's really dominating so far.
Yeah, he's just coming in with a really crazy performance. But I'm thinking, like, as far as individuals who have watched some Doom 2 like multiplayer in the past, is you'll commonly get the sentiment that the SSG is overpowered, and I don't think the Dwango 5 map will dissuade that opinion in any way. The SSG it's a pretty good weapon. It's a pretty good weapon.
Well, it's all about finding that mixture, right? You gotta have maps that focus on the SSG. You might have a map that favors the rocket launcher or the BFG, so it's good to throw those classic maps in there. We're gonna show the next map here. Some classic players may also have heard of, or even casual players may have heard of the WoD Green War. Well, this is a sequel to that WoD. This is Green War 2. You know, there's not too many gimmicks here on this map. It's just a really straightforward layout. It forces everyone to rely on their aim and strength with the super shotgun. So coming off that last map, it's probably going to favor Lang and Xenaero, who are really warmed up with their aim right now. You know, all the players do have to earn, you know, they have to earn this. They have to earn their aiming, and they have to earn their positioning here. So there might be a little bit of chasing as the players are spread out. So let's give the ready to everybody. And we'll start in about 5 seconds. You're going to see an armor on the ledge here. So it'll be interesting to see if someone goes for that. And we're off.
Right, so here we will probably see everyone congregating around that rocket launcher structure, because the map is pretty mazy. So again, you gotta find your opponents actually, and this is like the place that sort of attracts everyone.
Yeah, I mean the spawns are spread out, but everyone seems to eventually congregate. You know, it's like a great band that they congregate around the drums. Everyone seems to congregate around where the rocket launcher is here.
Without actually using the rocket launcher, because it's pretty useless on such a vertical map. Because of course we're playing without vertical mouse look.
Right, this is kind of a mixture of your old school and new school settings. We are allowing jump, but no mouse look. So on a map like this, the rockets are deemed essentially useless. But you know, you can still string off a few kills if you place them right.
Langranus again, sort of holding the lead, though just by 1 frag, and it's Xenaero in second. So we've got Xenaero sort of reborn after not such a hot performance in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, his performance on that last map has carried over into this one. He's keeping up with Lang, but you're also seeing Azrael and Ninja Dog not too far behind. So, you know, some other players are starting to get warmed up, find their footing. Azrael now coming in at second. Lang is just hard.
Right.
Hard to stop from getting frags, you know. Every time someone catches up to him, he strings off 2 or 3.
So, like, everyone else has a strong showing or a weak showing, depending on how they luck out, and Langrenus is like this machine that just performs in each and every one of them.
Yeah, so far none of these maps have really been affecting him. He seems to be good at playing all of them.
Though, okay, now he's popping off again. I was about to say that, yeah, people are catching up to him, but nope. We're at +5 again.
Yeah, he's really just dominating. I mean, it's really hard to stay consistent through 4 maps, but he has consistently been in the lead. He's had a little bit of trouble from Disbarrel, but overall, it's been the Lang show for the first half, and there he is. Takes map 4. And you're going to see these games go really quickly. Yesterday we did a bunch of games with 30 frag limits, and, you know, those go quick, but for this we thought upping it to 40 would give players a chance to kind of catch up a little bit if someone's leading. You know, just have a few more chances, and it's so far not paying off for anyone other than Lang.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, we had the frag limit at 30 yesterday, and you'd see a lot of 2-minute matches, but with 8 players in there and at 40, it's pretty similar times. But just want to give a shout out, because QuakeCon is more about the games that are being represented. There is lots of charities to support UNICEF, Direct Relief. Those are obviously charities. The Start Soon charity. One of those days, eh?
One of those days. And if you look at, we're on map 5 now, and I think this is the most beautifully textured map in the whole pack. This is another map from Green War 2. Green War is called Green War because the maps were all green, but Green War 2 took it a little bit further than that and made some really great designs and texturing. You know, there's the BFG on this map, which players are going to do their best to get it in that tight corridor. Most will not be successful because it's really tough to grab in that little spot, but those that do have really earned it fighting through all that commotion on the outside. So look to see some players trying to get that BFG, but then also look to see you know, some fights on the outside.
Yeah, there will always be someone spamming rockets on that BFG structure, and just accruing a lot of frags.
Alright, so I got the all ready. We're going to go in 5 here. This will be a really interesting change of pace to introduce a BFG here. So let's do this. We're off.
And right now, if someone wants to like change their luck, this is the time, because yeah, this is the first BFG heavy map.
Yep.
So now is the time for maybe Dastan or Ninja Dog or Toby.
Yeah, it seems to be the catch up to Lang day on our stream here. Langrenus is going to become a star.
So Toby is going to try for the probably going to try the BFG path, but you see Langrenus doing the same thing as he did before. He's just grinding SSG all the time, not really all that interested in the
wow.
BFG trap.
Toby just rattled off like 6 BFG frags there, which puts him in the lead.
And now Infer does something similar, but not as successful.
Toby just has to make sure he keeps up the pace, because as we've seen, you know, we've seen players take the lead, but then Lang doesn't give up. So Toby's got to keep trying to go for the BFG, although right now what he's doing is he's actually shooting off rockets, trying to prevent other people from getting the BFG. Well, he grabs it here. He gets another one. Ah, there we go. Rattles off 3 frags there. So he is only 10 frags, 9 frags away from taking this one. He gets the BFG, he's able to run to the back of the map. Really, really good
And yeah,
movement.
just 5 frags to go for him. He's really cheesed the map.
Hey, you know, he earned that BFG. This is not easy to get. But I think, you know, for the last 4 frags, you don't want to waste time trying to get it. You just want to get those frags any way you can. 2 away from 40. If someone can catch Langrenus in 2nd place, that can drop his standings a little bit. There you go, Lang's up at 30 now. Toby takes it.
There we go. So Toby dethrones Langrenus for 1 round, but Langrenus won't be too sorry because 2nd place still means he's not getting caught up by anyone.
Right, he's still doing very well in the points, obviously in 1st place. And, you know, there's not a huge point differential between 1st and 2nd, so Toby's probably going to have to win the next 3 maps in order to find himself ahead of Lang here. So we're going to head into another map that features a BFG. So this map is from a WAD called Lazarus, which is another sort of new school WAD. There's a cool, really cool, interesting gimmick here where there's a hallway that actually is a teleporter. It looks like it goes all the way to the other side of the map, but it's just a nice little teleporter that you can go through to get the BFG. And it's tough to get because a lot of players will spawn on either side of that BFG ledge. The BFG is yours for the taking though, and it can lead to some nice sprees. On the sides, it's also heavy on the rocket span, but if you look down in that pit, right out front of where you're going to grab the BFG, there is an SSG, which is kind of a main spot for players to grab that and go. So look for that to be a popular spot for everybody. I give the all ready here. So this is map 6 of 8. We've seen Lang win 4 times and Toby win once. Switch over in 5 seconds here. And we are off. So Infer tried to go for the BFG right off the bat. Didn't grab it. Disbarrel got it though. So like I said, he's throwing them right where those spawns are. Not a lot of luck there. Ninja Dog starting off a little slow, just got his first frag. But on top we see Infer. Infer hasn't had the strongest couple of rounds here, but like I said, every map has different play styles. Every map is suited for different types of players. So you might see...
Oh, Infer popped off.
Yeah. You might see Infer able to get some BFG kills here, which puts him 4 frags ahead.
Yeah, this is a map where that strategy that Langrenus has been playing so far, just getting those grindy SSG kills, just might not be fast enough. Even if you hit every shot, someone will just pop off with a crazy BFG spree.
Yeah, and I think that's the strategy, the winning strategy on this map. You got to go for the BFG because it's actually, it seems easy to get, but because everyone is trying to get it, you know, it's not that easy. But once you get it on a map like this, it's kind of wide open that you can string off 4 or 5 frags with 1 or 2 shots of the BFG. So you see 4 players up there battling to get that. I think someone's protecting it right now.
Ooh, but Langrenus actually got it ahead. So we spoke too soon.
Well, isn't that always the case? But yeah, you see, look at this. If you go over to where the BFG entrance is, you see like this little corridor, and you've got like 4 or 5 people just going crazy over there like it's Thanksgiving at Target.
Infer is trying to close the gap again with a BFG run, but it wasn't as successful as before.
Yeah, but you know, he's still keeping up with Lang. He's only 2 frags short here. Ninja Dog grabs the BFG. He's got some ground to make up. But Lang closing in on those 40 frags. It's going to be really hard to get on top of him in points if he wins this one.
And there we go.
There you have it.
Lang dominates the BFG map with the SSG.
Yep.
Just no one is able to stop him today.
Yeah, he woke up in best form today.
But oh yeah, as far as like SSG versus BFG is, the SSG is just great for getting those consistent kills and just going up one by one by one. Because if you get the BFG, and like all of these players are very talented and they know the mechanics behind, you know, dodging it at the end of the projectile, so Lang just did a great job.
Yeah, and this next map we're looking at is from a WAD called UDM3. A really great series. There's UDM 1, 2, 3, and then UDMX. Really great classic series of FFA maps. This one is wide open, SSG heavy. It's all about hunting down your enemy. You want to make sure you eliminate them before time expires, right? So you might get lucky with a plasma or a rocket launcher, but you really have to be careful not to fall behind because the way that this map is set up, it's really easy to string off, you know, 5 or 6 SSG kills. Because there is actually a spawn here that is all pistol, only pistol, so you have to run and find a weapon.
And it's in the open area, and you're sort of like trapped down in that basin, and you become a victim for everyone. Everyone's just going to target you there.
Yeah, exactly. So we got the all ready from players. Like I said, Lang has taken 5 of the 6 maps. The only other person to win is Toby. So Toby's probably got to wake up and win these next few games in order to have even a shot. But it's looking like Lang's day today, so let's go ahead, give the 5 second, and off we go. So I'm just watching Infer. He actually did. He got the pistol spawn. He had to go through a teleporter to find an SSG. Dastin taking an early lead here.
Oh, this is a map that actually could favor Dastin. He's the sort of player that wants to just stand in the center of an open area and spin around and hit every shot.
Yeah, I mean, all these guys have some of the best aim in the game. And Dastin, you know, Dastin hasn't performed near as well as maybe I would have predicted. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a different lineup of your opponents. There's not really like a weak player that you can target.
Right. And I mean, look at the scoreboard right now. Actually, Langrenus, who we've been fawning over, is at the bottom.
But he quickly string together a couple of frags, so he's already somewhere.
He never ceases to find a moment to show us up. Because now he's in second.
Yeah, but this barrel in +3 lead, he probably really wants to show off that Langrenus isn't the only one with super impressive aim.
Right, but you know, if you're Toby, you got to be thinking, man, this was my chance to steal around off Lang. He started off slow, but Toby's struggling right now. Disbarrel with a 5-6 frag lead. Easily gets cut down to 4. Thank you, Lang. But with 10 frags left, you know, this map is really anyone's game. Disbarrel, though, gets the dreaded pistol spawn, has to find an SSG. It takes him a while. That gives Lang a chance to catch up. Now we're down by 3.
That's such a horrible downtime.
Well, it depends where you go, right? I mean, you can go a couple different places to get the SSG, but you want to just...
Well, you might as well just get yourself killed.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, there's no point really in running away with a pistol. You know, just end it and try to spawn somewhere else. Lang ties it up, takes the lead.
Yeah, Xenaero finally got a couple of frags. He was hovering at 33 for what seemed like an eternity.
Someone's stealing all of his frags right now. He actually had like 7 shots right there that someone stole from him. Lang closing it.
Oh, he gotta make up 4 frags versus Langren is just 1, and
wow.
there you go.
So look at that. Lang found himself at the bottom. Disparel types in the chat, that pistol spawn can go to hell. Well, you're right. It's a really tough one for everybody. But yeah, you saw Langrenus at the bottom. Maybe changed up his strategy there. And comes back to win it. So that is 6 first place finishes for Lang.
Prote finally woke up a little after several weak rounds with a 3rd place finish.
So I think at this point we're probably looking to see who's going to place in 2nd and 3rd more than 1st. I think Langrenus has pretty much asserted his dominance here. So it'll be interesting to see who can come in 2nd and 3rd. I mean, I know Toby had that 1st place finish, but you know, all the other placements come into play really, really big when it comes down to finishing up and calculating all those points. So
and Toby actually ended up last in this round, so that's going to hurt him.
Yeah. And then, so let's look at this map. This is the last map of the pack, last map of the rotation. It's a really tight map, pretty much in every aspect. I mean, there's just no room to take a breath here. Between the BFG, the chain gun finally comes into play in one of these maps, and the rocket launcher, all these players are really going to have to go into this one with a smart battle plan. This is all about timing. It's kind of the perfect map to end our rotation. You're going to see a lot of heavy spam centered around that BFG area. You know, everyone wants to grab that because it's not difficult to grab. And you can get out that lift pretty easily, jump through the teleport, and then you'll have yourself a good spot to throw those BFG balls. But let's see if everyone is ready.
And just a quick score update. So Langren has double the points as everyone else, so he's pretty much our winner already. And we've got Prote and Disparel tied for 2nd with 29 points. And Infer is in 4th with 28. So this will come down to really every point will matter.
Yep, and as we saw yesterday in the wildcard stage, actually, a player needed 2 points on this map in order to make it into the finals, and he was bested by someone that had already been eliminated. So look for some potential spoilers here.
That player was Devastation, who didn't make the finals.
Yes, Devastation is a Doom God, but he did not make the finals. Anyway, let's go in 5 here. And we are off. So we got Disparel and Prote tied, and Infer right behind them. Is there anyone else that could come in and maybe dethrone them with a strong finish here?
Ooh, Infer with an early BFG run that can easily put him on the path to a prize. Langren is already challenging for 1st.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Toby and Infer are both tied for 4th, so Toby is right in the running here.
Mm-hmm. But both him and Disparel are actually last right now, so this is good for. Well, I wanted to say Prote, but he's down there with them. So right now,
I mean,
Infer is the happiest out of the four pursuers.
Yeah, I mean, when you get to these, like you said, when you get to these situations where the points are so close, you can't let off the gas for a game. You know, you got to make sure that you're on it until the end. And Langrenus does not care about anybody trying to win any kind of placement. He's just going out, putting on a show, trying to win 7 out of the 8 maps. Desperil's really got to pick things up here if he wants to make sure that he finishes in that top 3.
Ninja Dog is trying to, you know, make at least one good impression.
I mean, yeah, Ninja Dog is, I think he's out of the running of the top 3, but he can come close. And see, we see Toby take over on top of Infer and Prote. So this one's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, and one good BFG run can turn almost everything around.
Man, these scores are really close. Infer, Toby, and Prote, 24 frags.
Sparrow
Once again,
21.
Yeah, Desperal was down by a number of frags, so he's kind of caught up. He's running out of time. Lang only needs 8 frags to end this one. Kind of a lull in the action here.
Oh, and Prote actually popped off by 4 frags in the second, so he's looking good, even if Langrenus closes it out.
Yeah, Prote's gotten 12 frags, and Toby's gotten 7 since they were tied at 21.
And there goes Langrenus' last frag.
There goes Lang.
Let me just quickly update the scores.
So that wraps up. That wraps up our finals here. It was a grueling 7-hour event yesterday, leading all into this top 8, and you know, we saw some players fighting for the top 3 spots up until the very end. So we're calculating everything on the fly here, live. The payout, first place will receive 350, second place 250, third place 150. Everyone that participated today will receive a t-shirt and a poster.
There we go. So Langrenus dominating in first with 70 points, Prote second with 36, Infer in third with 33, and Toby with the Spiral tied for fourth with 31.
And see, that's really close. 2 through 4 or 5, you know, those were really close. Anyone could have made the top 3 there. So there you have it. Yeah, Langrenus first, Prote second, Infer third, Spiral and Toby tied for fourth.
Then we got Ninja Dog in sixth, and Dastin with Azrael tied for seventh.
Well, it's been a very exciting couple of days.
No, it was just insane with the 7 hours yesterday. But we just got to thank everybody for coming and compete, all 76. And I think we got to give a shout out to the Multiplayer Doom Federation for really helping to set this up. There's almost too many to thank. But yeah, appreciate everybody in there. And thank you, QuakeCon and Bethesda, for letting us do our thing and showing off our little multiplayer circle in Classic Doom 2.
And shout out to our co-casters,
all the co-casters,
and Xenaero.
If you want more information on the Multiplayer Doom Federation, please head over to doomfederation.com.
And enjoy the rest of QuakeCon.home, or QuakeCon at home. Enjoy yourselves. Bye, everyone.